All right, hi everybody. Welcome to today's live webinar. Master the Markets with Wyckoff VSA Explained live. We're delighted to be sponsored by Capital Markets Elite, who sponsor this webinar. And we know we've got many of their traders in this room as well as our traders. I'm going to get straight to the point because we're in a trade at the moment. If you want to read the disclaimer, you can go to the Capital Markets Elite website, which I'm going to put in the chat area shortly when I'm playing the video. But I want to go straight to the chart because I want to show you a setup that I'm currently in. Now we're trading that we've just opened a very small account with Capital Markets Elite. We're using MT5. You can see up here it's a live account, and the size of the account is small. It's £1,000. But the most important thing is the setups. Now it doesn't matter whether you're trading 10 million. We have an asset management division that I trade for, which trade big size. We're also in this trade as well. But I want to show you the setup because that's what you're here to learn, really. And Dr. Aram Kiani is with me, who runs the live trading room. Now, let me be very clear on this, because the Ninja Trader video that I did the other day has now had somewhere in the region of nearly 8,000 views of that video. In fact, if I put it up here, if you want to go and look at it, 7,418 views already in less than a week. And that video is available. I'm going to put it up here for you to see, because what I forecast in that video over a week ago was the decline in gold and the decline in the pound. Now, I also gave the point and figure numbers, and I'm going to do the same today and show you where the market's going to go. So I've just put that video up. Do go and have a look at it. Please do put a comment in. I don't care if they're bad or good. I always get good feedback. I mean, the first comment I saw here was excellent content 8 days ago when I did it. I hope that we're helping you. That's what we're here to do. That's what we want to do. And the way we help you is to explain to you the charts, okay, and to understand what the chart is telling us. Now, this is as clear as it can get. And I'm using the Smart Center Pro product. Aram will probably show you this in the Trade Guider Lite version. But regardless, my stop is here, my entry's here, and the reason for the entry was what happened there, which I'll explain to you. Now, I'm going to make a profitable trade regardless, but I'm not going to move the stop at the moment because it's below the test, which is there. But let me explain the setup, and then we'll go into what VSA, volume spread analysis, actually is. Now, I'd like to ask you all a question as we're looking at this chart. It's the US dollar Swiss franc on the spot Forex market using the live account, and it's Capital Markets Elite Group, okay, that I'm using for this particular presentation, who are sponsoring this event. Now, I'm looking to see if there's any stopping volume coming in. Now, let's just have a look and see what happens. Now, we've got it. Now, I can't predict that. The software's doing it. It's telling us there's an attempt on an increase in volume to hold the market up. That doesn't mean it won't go down lower on a 1 minute chart, but I've got my stop already in profit anyway. There is the entry, a buy. Okay, remember this is a very small account. Okay, now we do trade much bigger size, and we will be doing so in our live trading room that Aram runs 4 days a week. And you can all join that room. Our new website that was launched last week, which has been very, very popular, is Trade to Win, TradeTowin.com. www.trade-to-win. What do we want you to do? We want you to trade to win. That's what trading's about. No one wants to lose money in this business. So we now have an attempt to hold the market up. We've got our stop in place. We've got our entry. Why the entry? Let's start with that. First of all, down here, look at the volume increasing as the market falls. But I want you to notice where the price closes on the bottom here. And it tells me, and this is what the software does, strength coming in on that bar. But can anyone tell me in the room why we would not buy on that bar? Even though in hindsight, it would have been a great buy. Why would we not buy on that bar, despite the green signal? And this is not a system that says buy on green and sell on red. There is a set of rules that go with it. that we'll explain to you today, okay, that will allow you to follow the rules to get in a trade like I am, move through the profitable area or into the profitable area and hold the trade. So why would we, let's look at the audience. There's a lot of you here. Why would we not buy on that bar? Right. Brilliant. So Sarang, you're the first one. Well done. No change in behaviour, he says. Right. Still in a downtrend, says Dal. You've got to wait for the confirmation bar, says Gear. Waiting for a change in behaviour, says Howard. And people keep going. So I'm not going to read them all out. They're all the same. Absolutely correct. You're all spot on. The market's still in a downtrend here. 2 rules. Now, I should get a fill here with a bit of luck, and that'll be a profitable trade, but I might get back into this if it holds. So we'll watch this, and there, I'm filled. See this come down here? Now, the reason it's come down is because of what happened up here, which I'll explain to you. Now, would I short this at the moment? Not until the next sign of weakness appears, but then I may well short it, because then we may well have an opportunity here to go short on this instrument. Now, how can you be long and short and make money? Well, you can. I'll show you. Because the market is absolutely fractal. It's always been fractal. And it moves on supply and demand, or the imbalances of supply and demand. And so we've had down here buying coming in. Let me talk you through it. Strength coming in. Close in the middle. Next bar closes higher. That has to be buyers. But in order to prove there's buyers, they're going to want to test this level. So the market is marked down, but the volume diminishes dramatically because there's no selling pressure because they've already bought. And then here we get a high volume bar, a low volume bar on that bar into that same area, but the top of that bar called no supply, which means no selling pressure. And then we change behavior. And the market moves up for a good nearly an hour. Now, here was where I added to my position, okay, because I could see we've got strength in the background, everything in the system, which is smart, if we call it VSA Smart Center Pro or Smart, is green, and up we go. And therefore, we can see that the market moves up and up and up. But then we suddenly get this high volume coming in on these up moves. Now, this first bar is what we call no demand. It's a low volume bar. And then we get hidden selling. Now, what does that mean? Well, Aaron will now be able to show us, I hope, what this looks like in the light version of VSA. But it's a similar thing, and it's a very similar system to this. And that it shows that the market has gone very, very vertical, but now the spread of the bar or the range has got narrow. And up here at the top, right at the top here, we've got an upthrust. So here, I can now look for the short because I can see on this bar, narrow spread, next bar's down. So what I'll do here, because we're now in a downtrend on the small time frame, I can see that's a gotcha bar. Okay, and I'm just going to bring the stop down a bit. Now, Aram, I'm going to hand the screen over to you because I've got another alert coming in. And let's see if we can see your screen. And Aram, do you want to come and do a quick sound check and say hello to everyone for the recording?
Yep, hello everyone.
Yep, perfect. Now, do you want to see if you can show your screen? I'm going to make you the presenter, so just bear with me. And we should be able to see your screen. And maybe you can have a quick look at this now in the light version, which is our trade to win product, which we launched last week. And I'm using Capital Markets Elite MT5. Yep, I can see the screen perfectly. So yeah, it's a lovely sunrise over the desert I can see. So, which is nice. Where is that?
Now, can you see the chart? Or...
No, I can't see the chart.
Okay.
I can see a beautiful sunrise.
The monitor, how?
Yeah.
How would I change the monitor?
Have you got 2 different screens? You got 2 different. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one. We can see that one. So now we're on the Swiss franc USD. Now we're going to be looking here at the selling in the background. Do you want to talk us through what's going on here on this trade to win chart? Can everyone see Aram's screen, by the way? Yeah. Okay, Aram, you need to put your mic on because we can't hear you. But yeah, I can see the screen now. That's fine. Yeah, we've lost your voice, Aram, for some reason. Don't know why, but I can see the screen. Right. Can anyone else hear Aram, or is it just me? Otherwise, I'll take the screen back. Yeah. Can everyone hear Aram or not? I can't hear him, so maybe it's my computer. I just want to double check. No, you can't hear Aram. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take the screen back and I'll show you this here, and we'll go to. Let me just switch to my other slave monitor here. I don't know what.
I think the sound goes when I share my monitor for some reason, Gavin.
Right. Okay. Don't worry. I'll put it up on mine. That's absolutely fine. So what we'll do is I'm going to put up TradingView for the purposes of this, but I'm using MT5 to trade it. And what we'll do is we'll put up the Forex chart, and this will be the Swissy versus the US dollar. Okay, and we're going to put up a 1 minute chart here, and just let me know when you can see my screen, everybody, and Aaron will talk us through this. So basically, we've had a long trade, and now it's reversed on the 1 minute chart. As we can see, it's pulled back since I took that short up here. And Aaron, so talk us through what we're seeing here on this particular chart, which is using the light version of volume spread analysis, Wyckoff VSA, which is available at trade2win.com. So what we're seeing here.
Yeah. Basically what we see, if you squeeze the chart a little bit for me, please, Gavin.
Yeah.
Just squeeze it in.
Oh, you want
to... it.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, just squeeze it a bit further in. Yeah, a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I want to see the background before those tests that come in.
There you go.
Just to explain to everyone. Right. Excellent. That's perfect. Now you can see the PB that was confirmed just after that shakeout, right? That would have been your trigger lines for that potential professional buying. You had a change of behavior and you had tests appearing on where the PS has appeared, right? So basically, you would consider that potential professional buying as a principle to go in and buy after that test has appeared. Because that potential professional selling that has appeared before that test hasn't come into effect yet. So therefore, you consider the first potential professional buying previous to that PS, not the one that hasn't been confirmed, the one that has been confirmed. And then you have a change of behavior and you have a test, and that's where you will enter the trade because you're above that trigger line and you have a test and you got sign of strength behind you.
Correct. There it is. So let's explain that. So first of all, we've got something called absorption, which is why I was long. Now this PS is coloured red, but it's not a sell signal at all because we're in an uptrend. It's actually absorption, which is why it colours it light red. It's not confirmed. Then you get a test, and at the same level in the future, they mark the price down and they buy more. And you get a PB, and then you get another test here after they try to sell it. They mark it down, test it. And I've actually been long on this from here. In this is my trade. Okay. And then I got filled just up here. Now we've got to start looking at the right edge of the chart much closer because what we've got is a downtrend appearing. The market's gone up on high volume, we've reversed. So now what we want to see is some sort of weakness appear to confirm that they're going to pull this back down. Now we can see in the system that the bars turn red. So down bars are red, up bars are green. Now when we go up in a downtrend, but the volume diminishes into lower than the previous two bars, that is weak bars, which means price will fall. Again, we have it here. You can see another bar which tries to go up into this area, but the volume is very low, and we collapse again. And even here now we get a bar that closes near the top, but the next bar reverses. Now we can look at this in the MT5 platform, and it tells us the same story. Okay, so this was the trade to the upside, which was alerted to, and this is now falling to the downside, but it's holding its level where the test was at the moment. So I'm keeping an eye on this, but I've got another alert that just came in, which I may well take, on the pound. Now, this is even more obvious. This is the 1 hour chart of the British pound. And I'm not in a trade here because it's whipsawing because of the news. Now, the news today has been it's been amazing what the Fed did yesterday and what the Bank of England have done today. They've basically, and this is quite interesting, moved the interest rates up considerably, but they're doing it at a time when everyone is struggling through the cost of living crisis, which we have in the UK, energy bills going through the roof. So now they've just put everyone's mortgage up. If you've got a mortgage, I don't have a mortgage, but if you do have a mortgage, your mortgage has just gone up through the roof. So what's happened to the pound? It's at a 37-year low against the dollar. And it's going to go further. Why? Because supply is hitting the market. Here, we can see it. Supply coming in. It whipsaws for 2 hours. But go out a time frame, you start to get the picture. Okay? So we're moving bigger time frames now. Now look at what we're seeing here. Is you're seeing a congested area. But my point and figure projection puts this instrument in the next week and a half down at 1.2000, which will be the all-time low for a long while. I can't remember when it was that low. But look at the principles on this chart. It's a 4-hour chart. So here was, well before any announcement was made, a trap up move. This is one of the few VSA indicators in the Trade Guider program, and I'm using Smart Center Pro here, that gives a red signal on a down bar. And to be clear, a down bar is a price bar that closes lower than the close of the previous bar. And it actually tells us, when you click on any of the indicators, it teaches you how to read these. Do not use these as buy and sell signals on their own. Read the rules that go with them. There's 2 places you can get them, and I'll show you. We don't just give you a piece of software that says, if it's red, you sell it. If it's green, you buy it. It's not like that. And I want to make that very clear. This is a decision support system that puts the odds in your favor. But you must read the rules. And if you don't, and you buy this software, and you don't bother, you think, oh, it's red, I'll sell, or green, I'll buy, you will fail. Fail to plan, plan to fail. The bottom line is, we give you the plan, multiple plans, in fact, depending on whether you're a scalper, whether you're a swing trader, or whether you're an invested trader. Because what I'm showing you is currently in Forex, but this works for futures, stocks, cryptocurrencies. I'll be doing a live trading event, trading the crypto futures next week. It works on all of these things because we're only looking at 3 things. This is what we chart: supply and demand, cause and effect, effort versus result. That's it. Supply and demand, cause and effect, effort versus result. Here's your effort on this 2-bar, closes in the middle. The result, closing on the low. Sellers have come in, market goes up, the volume diminishes, and then here is your entry. That is your entry, supply. The market moves up on an increase in volume, but it closes in the middle, and the next bar closes lower. Only one thing that can cause that. Supply, sellers have overcome demand, and now you're seeing the result of this. And this has to be how it works. It can't work any other way. And so when we look at Wyckoff and VSA, we are looking at the imbalances of supply and demand. Now, looking at this GBP USD chart, if we go down to the 15-minute chart, we know there's been news today from the Bank of England. So we expect the market to whipsaw. Well, that's what a whipsawing market looks like. Tomorrow, and we'll do this in our live trading room, you'll have a great trade on this, potentially to the short side. But before it goes short, it will be marked up like it has been here, here, and then the last indicator that came in a few hours ago, just after the news, tells us weakness has appeared. It's one of the few indicators, there's only 3 or 4, that appear on a down move, but it's looking at what happened in the previous bar and what the next bar did. Over the course of half an hour, the market was marked up through an old top, closed on the low, or near the low of the bar. Next bar collapsed. That has to be weakness. Now, is there a trade to the short side here? Right now, potentially there is. Because what we can see is the market attempting to rally into this very high volume bar, but failing, which we can see. But there's no sign of weakness to trade yet. That was the first one that was a good trade, which I did trade. And it was in the right place for me because on the bigger time frame, it was turning to the downside. Now, how do I know all this? Well, I use Smart Center Pro. And if we look at this now, I'm going to reset this for you. Now, these are all the instruments that I'm currently scanning. Now, I'm going to unclick these boxes and I'm going to rescan. Now, the market now is setting itself to scan all of these instruments that I've chosen it to scan. You cannot do this with VSA Lite Trade to Win program. You can only do this with Smart or Smart Center Pro. And what we're looking at here is a multitude or 2 or 3 different things that allow me to scout the market, right? Which means I could look for a short trade here in the British pound. And indeed, in fact, I'm going to go to the other screen right now. But just bear with me as we're coming into the London fix. And I'm going to show you my order entry screen. And I'm going to put that in on the other screen here. Just bear with me because this is going to move lower. Okay, let me just move that down a bit. Okay, good. Now, what I want to do is just show you. Okay, so let me just put the screen back on. We're also going to look at the Aussie dollar, which has just come up as well. And again, this has come up with an alert on the hourly chart, but I'm going to move to a smaller time frame. But here you've got your supply coming in. It's come all the way down on this bar over the last hour. So we've had a big decline in the Aussie dollar. For those of you that are in Australia, I know some of you in the room are. But what we now have, okay, so Jamie, you're already short the 6B. I'm short the 6B. Now, the interesting thing about the 6B is it's the British pound. Now, we can look at this in other platforms. I mean, I've got other platforms open, but at the moment I'm using the Capital Markets Elite MT5 platform as they're actually sponsoring this particular event. And what we're seeing at the moment, if we go down on the Aussie dollar, for instance, what we can see at the London fix, which happens in the next 15 minutes, and you can see now the market starting to change behavior. So you've got the weakness appearing on these bars, which we can see on the 5-minute chart. But you now go to the 1-minute chart and watch what's happening. All right, you've got your weakness coming in on this very high volume bar. And you can see up here, the last indicators that we're getting about 8 minutes ago are telling us that this is weak. Okay, this is known as an up thrust. Now I'll bring Dr. Aram in again. Aram, when you see upthrusts like this as the market's been falling and they mark it up, is it not a great place to start looking for short trades when that happens?
Absolutely, yes. Uptrust, so when the weakness is arriving and you get uptrust, it's a good sign the market's going to fall. It's going to go lower.
And what they're doing here is they're taking out stops of anyone that had bought long or decided to go long. They get rid of them. And anyone that's short up here, they get rid of you in here. Now, watch what happens now. This is a trend cluster. It's not in the light program, but it is built into Smart Center technology. And it shows us where there is support and resistance levels. Now, they're much more powerful the bigger the time frame you use them on. But just to show you what's going on here, it's hit these clusters. The price action hit them. And look at what's going on because of what's going on in the background. You've got 3 indicators that I've written about in my second book, which are here. And this is not a PowerPoint slide. This is a live chart. And it's doing the same thing on other time frames. So if I look at the GBP USD, okay, there's the entry. I'm short. There's the stop. Okay, for the similar reason of what happened up here, where the stop is. Okay, now if I go back to the Aussie, which I'm also trading on the other screen here. Now what we'll watch for is what we call the breakdown, the capitulation bar. Now, there's no trade on this platform at the moment in this particular instrument, but we're stuck between these 2 clusters. And what you're going to find fascinating as you watch this, and I know Aaron watches these clusters as well, but they're not in the light program. Let me be clear. This is in Smart Center or Smart Center Pro. And you can find details about all of this on the Trade Guider website. But what we get here is signs of weakness in the background. As the market goes up here, look at what the volume's doing. It's running out of energy, right? That's how the markets work. There's your up move over the space of about 15 minutes. But there, because the trend is overall down, this is just a minor correction. And if you start to put it out into different time frames, you start to see why. We use multiple time frame analysis, and how we do that using Smart Center Pro is we look here and we can see all the instruments that I'm currently scanning. And we can see the Aussie USD here is starting to turn red on all the time frames. The 1 minute chart has already gone red. This is the 2 minute chart. You'll watch that will very likely turn red. Then the 3, then the 4, then the 5, then I'll take the trade. And on the British pound, it did something very similar. So if we look at any instrument, here, the British pound on the super scalper has been for the last hour and a half short trades. Look, it just turned red on the 1 minute chart. Okay, it's telling us that it's weak. And we can see it falling. You can see the entry, you can see the stop, and you can see the logic behind this. And what Trade Guider is and what volume spread analysis is decision support. It is not a black box. Have we developed an automated trading system? Yes, but we'll never make that public. We have developed over the course of 30 odd years since we've been in business, a decision support system that enables you to read the chart and understand the imbalances of the supply and demand situation. And that is what drives price, nothing more. It's the imbalance of supply and demand. And what I'd like to do now is to read to you from the original version of Tom Williams's original 35-year-old Genie Software was the company, and read to you what he said about the first version of Trade Guider, which was called VSA 5 Professional. And we're watching this trade running live, so you can see the weakness, you can see that high volume bar here, which has acted as resistance, and you can see it breaking down. If you want to go to the 1 minute chart, you can see it even clearer. Now, Aaron uses the 1 minute chart to trade in the trading room. I like to use it purely to show you where the entry is. Here was the warning sign, and here was the entry. Okay, and we can see as that bar closed, I took the trade. All right, there is the entry. This is a live account. We're not doing this with a demo. You're seeing this in real time, and you're all in the room, and no one's going to be able to argue and say, well, hold on a second, you've taken a short. The trend clusters here on the 1 minute chart, I'm not worried about. But ultimately now what I do, and this is the key to this, we'll take this down, is what I'm going to do is bring that stop to break even. There, done. If it goes up against me now at the London fix, 10 minutes time, I won't lose any money. I can see on the other screen I won't lose money. I won't make a lot, but I won't lose any. But let me just tell you what this says. Trade Guider, or VSA 5 Professional, is real-time and an end-of-day expert trading system, producing automatic signals of surprising accuracy. This is not a black box system, but based on sound and well-tested theories first put forward by Richard DeMille Wyckoff in 1932 on how to read and trade the tape. This system is suitable for trading stocks, options, futures, or commodities, either end of day or intraday, and I will add to that cryptocurrencies, which I trade. The Wyckoff method is endorsed and taught at the Golden Gate University of San Francisco. It's recommended learning by the Society of Technical Analysis of San Francisco, and also recommended by Stocks and Commodities magazine, the world's leading technical analysis magazine when this was written. The indicators stroke signals are based on supply and demand, which is what you're seeing here live, volume, and the activities of the main players on the other side of the trade. The quality and the accuracy of these indicators stroke signals shows without doubt that the theories are not flawed and is the next major step forward in market analysis. This was written 30 odd years ago. The indicator signals are based on supply and demand and the activities of the main players. So you, when you have this, will know why an indicator has appeared. How will you know this? Why is it falling for the last 8 minutes? Weakness has appeared. SOW. That is not a female pig. Although many of you, if you live in the forest where I live, there's plenty of sows. Sign of weakness has appeared on the 1 minute chart. The market is going to fall because the biggest trend is behind us. We know that the trend is our friend, so I shorted on this bar because the test that was immediately after it failed. It's totally logical. Now, I've got a much bigger trade on in futures, but don't worry about trade size. This is a live account. This is real money, and Aaron trades real money in the room. So Tom says in his brochure here, you will know why an indicator stroke signal has appeared. Of course you will, because it's written. You will know why there's going to be a likely turn in the market. You will know what is going on in the market. You will soon realize there are no secrets. There are no magical formulas in the markets. We know this because some of the finest brains in the world have been looking and searching carefully over the years. However, all markets do move on supply and demand, while professional traders are taking opportunities wherever possible to catch your stops, mislead you, take you out of a good trade, or get you into a poor one to better their own accounts. Unfortunately, this is how the markets work and will always work this way. But the most striking information will probably be the realization that practically all the information you see, read, or hear about the stock market or markets in general is extremely misleading. usually resulting in the market moving in exactly the opposite direction you feel it should be going, severely damaging your ego and your trading record. Trade Guider, or VSA 5 as it was then, will lift the frog and remove this from you. Now, what we see here is a classic example into the London fix of weakness appearing. Now, we don't want to lose any money here, so we're going to move the stop onto the cluster here. See where these clusters are? Now, these are very, very clever. Again, they're not built into the Light program. They're in Smart Center, and I'm using them here in Smart Center Pro. And what it tells me is there's support right underneath this price line, and there's resistance just above it where the stop is. I can't lose money. So I'm looking here to see if there's an upthrust coming at this resistance line, and then a further breakdown in price. And this is how I'm managing the 3 trades that I'm currently in. And so what we do here is we read the bar as it closes. And I'll do that for you in the next 2 minutes. I will read each bar, in fact, the next 6 minutes. I'll analyze every bar and tell you what's going on. So we now have a down bar. It's closed lower than the close of the previous bar, but the volume on the previous bar was very high, but it closed in the middle. The next bar closed lower. Supply is present. Sellers there, because they already sold up here and on here. There was no interest on this bar. We call it no demand. It's trying to go up in this rally, but there's no volume to take it further. And this is what Wyckoff taught us back in the 1930s. It's tape reading. I'm going to read to you the tape. The market's going to fall. It's going to come all the way down to here. How could I possibly know this? Okay, because I've been doing this for 22 years. And because I'm incredibly experienced at doing this. The reason I'm confident about my trading is I know even if it does go against me and there's a reversal, I'm not going to lose any money. That is what good traders do. They protect their capital. I'll bring Dr. Aaron back in. Aaron, you've been doing this for, what, 8-9 months? I know I taught you a lot of this. How important is capital preservation to a good trader rather than just making good trades?
Well, the capital that you're going to put in, it should really be in place with your plan, your trading plan. So if you haven't done a trading plan, you should really be doing a trading plan where you can actually put in the amount of risk you could take and afford to lose. And you know, my personal plan is 1.5% and per trade, and that's how I manage my trades. So it's very important to do that. You know, if you're a, you know,
I just saw, sorry, Varun, I just saw your comment. Hello to you. Aaron, going back to you there. So you're not trading a big account at the moment. It's like this account here. It's a live account. It's real money. I'm expecting to see a test. Now, that's interesting. I think we just got one. Oh, no, it's an attempt to support. So now, in this old area here, they're trying to hold the market up on the 1-minute chart. So I'm not worried. I'm not going to do anything because overall that's in control, and so is this. And we can see that the system using the Smart Center technology is showing me everything's red. So we stay with it, knowing that our capital is protected. Now, the reason that we have a live trading room that I participate in when I can, I'm also managing money, large amounts of money. So I'm an asset manager. But the reason I participate is to teach people how to read these charts. Now, we don't want to throw you fish. That is not our objective at Trade Guider, or indeed at Trade to Win, which is our new website. Aaron's objective, my objective, the directors of Trade Guider, Gibraltar Limited, and also all the individuals we employ, our objective is to teach you to fish. Because we are not going to be there all the time when the markets are moving. So we've got a multitude of courses, educational things that will help you to understand market movements and why markets move as they do. It's down to you as an individual to put in the effort, because life is like a chart. If you don't put in the effort, you don't get the result. It's as simple as that. If you put in some effort, you get some result. If you put in a lot of effort, you get a lot of result. I'm living proof of that. So is Aaron. Because we both believe, and Aaron came down here to my farmhouse in the New Forest, where I live, in the middle of the New Forest National Park, which is on the south coast of England. And we had a number of customers that came and joined us for what can only be described as 2 days of momentous momentum for everyone that was there. And I mean that, momentous momentum. That's a good one. Say that slowly. A momentous occasion with movement forward, I would say. That's probably easy to say. Where minds are like parachutes. They're best used when they're open. And indeed, at that event that we did, and we're going to do another one, I hope, in October, we opened the minds. And we didn't just open the minds based on chart reading, because there are 3 universal laws that drive the charts. There's no argument with this. I don't think anyone's going to dispute it. Supply and demand, cause and effect, and effort versus result. Okay? The 4th universal law, which drives everything around this, is called the law of attraction. It is what drives human beings. You, whether you like it or not, are vibrational energy, and you attract to yourself what you choose to attract. Now, if you want to be a winning trader, you have to think like a winning trader. I've been doing this for years. And Aaron, I know, is the same as me. You think you are a winner, you will become one. By the law of attraction. It has to be this way. And as long as you focus every single night before you go to sleep on what a great day you've had and what a great day you're about to have, as I am today. I haven't had a losing trade all day, and I haven't had a losing trade all week. Well, in fact, for 2 weeks. Now, most people, that's impossible. It's not. It's not. I'm cautious. I was taught to be cautious, and I'm cautious. I therefore reduce my risk on every trade that I take. I use the principles of Wyckoff and volume spread analysis to guide me, which is why I came up with the name. It was my idea to call the company Trade Guider, because that's what we're doing. We're guiding you. We're not telling you, we're guiding you. And again, I'll repeat, and Aaron, I'm sure, will echo this. We don't want to throw you fish by copying these trades. I know several of you have already told me you shorted at the same time I did. Well done. You're going to, and you're bigger size than I'm using on this particular screen. But it's real money. And it's a live trade. And I can't do any more, and nor can Aaron, than show you the live trading with real money on a screen. That's what we do. And we have the live trading room. Aaron, as this market's going further down, I'm going to keep managing this. Just talk us through what you do in the trading room. What is the benefit, actually, of anyone coming into your room? Because obviously there's a time commitment there, but I understand that you record the events. So if people can't attend during the day when you're actually doing it, they can learn by looking at the recording, correct?
Yeah, absolutely correct, Gavin. What we do in the room is very simple. We do trading, live trading. We look for potential setups, either on a scalp or on a swing trade. We analyze the charts, and we analyze any chart. So anyone who comes in and wants me to analyze any particular chart, any particular instrument, I can go ahead and do that for them. And you know, and then we go not only trading, but we also talk about how to manage your trade, when to enter, when to exit, all of those things that comes into trading, and also the psychological aspects of trading as well. It's very important as individuals. So it's basically like a community that we want to be part of. Everyone trading, everyone part of the same group. And we have WhatsApp group, which is for people who subscribed, and they can come in, put their charts in, put in their positive comments in, and you know, and just be part of that community. And that's what we want to create, really, and also learn about the rules and regulations. Very important.
Yeah, I'll show you where you can get those rules, by the way. I've just got your email, John. So the platform I'm using here on your screen is the MT5 Capital Markets Elite Group MT5 platform. But MT5, I know, works with multiple different brokers. I'm having, this is sponsored by Capital Markets Elite, and they're a great company. And we're looking at the moment the GBP USD. I've already made money on several other instruments. The one you saw at the beginning was the USD Swiss franc, which you've commented on. You took the same trade, so well done. Do you do mentorship courses? I'm not going to be doing them in the future. No, I'm going to stop that as of probably the 1st of November, because I do one-to-one training, but we're going to end that on the 1st of November. So I may do a couple more. I'm pretty much booked up for the most of October, but I know my wife has told me it's a very valuable thing to do that because people learn very quickly. In fact, some of my students here are in the room. It is the quickest way to learn. Of course it is. That's how I learned, because I was fortunate to meet the late Tom Williams, and I was very blessed to have met him and then spent many hours, thousands of hours over the course of 20 years before he passed away with him, learning this stuff. Now, Varun has asked a question about the hour and the 15-minute chart. When the market's pulling back in a 15-minute, should I be able to find the right entry and how to confirm it? Well, I don't know if you've got our software, Varun, but I'm trading here based on Smart Center Pro. So I got the alert to short this from the system. I didn't find it. The system found it for me. Okay, you've got the light program. Well, Aaron can show you that as well. You should definitely email Aaron so you can come in. If you've not subscribed to the room.
Actually, Gavin, just if I may interrupt here, Varun is one of my people in the room, and yeah, he can join in live, and I think he has subscribed, and he could join in and ask these questions on the live sessions.
Yeah, and that's fine. I would again suggest that you're seeing a trade set up here that I've explained to you, and it is actually in the room. Jamie, he no longer works with us full-time at all. He's now working in the construction industry, I believe, in Colorado, I believe it is. Very good job. He's a project manager. So Grigory now does all the, and my wife Laura does all the support, but we're not getting as many support tickets at all because of the improvement, obviously, that we've done with Smart Center Pro and Smart. But if any of you here have got software, you need help, you can put in a support ticket from the website at tradeguider.com, and that comes through to me. So I see all of them. So I can, I can usually help you there. Salah, I'm just seeing you. So Salah, I don't understand your question. So I've tried a lot to use ultra high volume settings in Pro. So you've got Smart Center Pro, right? Right, that's what I'm using. Okay. Yeah, Jamie, then you can just literally put a ticket in, and Grigory will answer that one for you. That's an easy one. I'm not sure what's confusing about this. So Smart Center Pro, what it does is it produces a scanner. You have to have the scanner built into it. So I'm currently short GBP USD. Okay, here is Smart Center Pro. Okay, it says VSA Smart Center Pro. Here is Super Scalper, which is why I'm short. Everything bar the 3-minute is now red, and it's been going down. It's moving sideways at the moment because they're testing it. But there is so many great videos on our YouTube channel which explain how to do this, that you can do it at your leisure. So you just go to youtube.com/TradeGuider, and you will get the information you need. We've also got a whole host of educational resources on the website. Now, they're there. They're not difficult to find. So if you've invested in Smart Center Pro, you've got a couple of choices. You can A, go to the website, go to the YouTube channel and look at the videos. It takes a bit of time, but not much. Or B, if you want one-to-one mentorship and training, email my wife, Laura, and say mentorship. And she will look at my diary and my scheduling to see if we've got any slots. And she can give you a quote. But you just email Laura, Laura, at tradeguider.com. And I'll put that up for you because I've got a couple of emails that have just come in. So while we're letting that trade run, I'm going to play to you. Let me just get rid of this for a second. And what I'll do is I'm just going to delete that. And this is my wife's email address. And for those of you that are, I know I've just had 3 emails already, and I will happily talk to you. I'm more than happy. But if you are interested in one-to-one mentorship and training, and I go into a lot more detail than I do on these webinars, I talk about belief, I talk about getting into the frame of mind of making money. And I've been doing this a long time. And I know, because I've done over 1,000 of these courses in the space of 22 years. You just email Laura and say, I'm interested. If you're interested, John, I've got your email about you want to buy a Smart Center Pro. That is $8,000 to buy if you want to own it outright. Email Laura and just put in Smart Center Pro inquiry, and she can do a deal for you, because I own the company, basically. I'm the major shareholder, but we have other shareholders like Richard Bednall, my business partner, but ultimately we don't have someone who says you can't do it. So we can definitely help you with that. And I personally use MT5 and Ninja Trader, but you said you use TradeStation. It does work with TradeStation, and it does work with other platforms. I happen to be using the MT5 Capital Markets Elite Group platform today. But now I want you to listen to this before I show you where the markets are about to go, because I do have a point and figure projection. And the point and figure projection, I'm going to show you it. And, well, I'm not going to show you the point and figure chart. I'm going to show you where the market's likely to go. But I just want you now, and you've got Laura's email address. Again, any questions, comments, feedback, inquiries, sales inquiries, you can email Mary Bednall. I think I've already put that email up, or you can email my wife directly. And if it's a question for me, don't email me directly, email Laura, because she pesters me until I answer it. So just have a listen to this now, and this sums up what we're all about.
What is a smart trader? A smart trader is someone who knows how the markets really work. They know how they move, why they move, and who and what moves them. Armed with this knowledge and understanding, they can trade in the markets alongside the major players. Smart traders are in the minority. The majority of retail traders and investors do not have this information. They rely on technical analysis and fundamental analysis to predict market movements. The problem for them is that on their own, these tools and methods don't work, which is why the large majority of traders lose to the markets. Remember, the market needs losers, many of them, so that the informed minority can win. Today, we'll show you how you can become a smart trader, trading in harmony with the professionals rather than trading alongside the herd. So why do so many traders lose? They lose because they've not grasped some fundamental facts which drive all markets. Fact number 1. By far the largest players in the market are the hedge funds, investment banks, trading syndicates such as Goldman Sachs, George Soros, and Berkshire Hathaway, headed up by Warren Buffett. These are organizations you've probably heard of, but there are many others which aren't publicly known. But together, they're by far the biggest players in the international trading community. At TradeGuider, we call them the smart money. Fact number 2. The smart money have to make money, and they do this by selling at the top of the market and buying at the bottom. Fact number 3. In order to do this, they have to move the market so that the prices rise to the top or fall to the bottom. So, how can they move the markets? Tom Williams, inventor of volume spread analysis, was a syndicate trader in the US and is one of the very few smart money traders to spill the beans on how the markets really work. He explains how the markets are moved.
Well, the thing is, you see, if you're a professional trader, you've got to do your utmost to buy on low depressed prices. And the best way to do that is to create bad news, put out rumors, do whatever you can, seize the opportunity of some serious news coming in, and then the market's markdown hopefully shakes people out of that. There was one example that we used to get up to all sorts of so-called tricks. I mean, we used to trade Teledyne, and Teledyne, the actual company, used to have an annual general meeting in Beverly Hills, and we used to plant people in there. In the meeting, there'd be quite a large room with perhaps several hundred people in there, and all the directors would be sitting up on the stage, you know, behind the table looking out at you. But we'd have planted questions to rather encourage people either to buy or encourage people to sell. We'd be asking awkward questions, like we might stand up and say, is this correct? We've heard secretly that you've got a huge order from Saudi Arabia for your products. And of course, it was complete fabrication. Then the directors would look at each other and sort of shrug their shoulders. But the audience heard that and they think, aye, they've got something going on, they're keeping it secret. And that would definitely have a nice big surge of buying next day. If you were distributing, we'd say, sure, we'll let you have it all because we bought in the lows.
So that is how the markets work, and that's me. I am the VSA trader, and with Aram in the room, and you're very, very welcome to connect. And obviously, if you want to talk to Laura or email Laura, she's there available to you. So we're now going to go back to the charts, which are now moving down to the target price, and we'll come back to Aram on this one. So Aram, on this chart, we're using the live account here, Capital Markets Elite Group, and we've seen two principles that both you and I love to trade, which here is the upthrust. And by the way, those of you that want my trading plan, I will send it to you. Just email Laura. But if you're listening in and you've already emailed me at TradeGuide or at Outlook, I'm going to send it out to you later on this afternoon. So don't worry about that. There's the upthrust. And then here you've got weakness appearing on this up bar. So it's an increase in volume, but it closes in the middle, and then they test it, and then it fails, which is what happened over here. They tested it, it succeeded, then failed again. So just talk about the weakness appearing on up bars, Aaron. Why does that happen? Because when the price is going up, and you tell someone, actually, that's a great place to look for shorts, everyone thinks you're mad. And me too. But we can see, because we're trading live, that has to be true. How do you explain that to people in your room?
Well, you know, it's so obvious that weakness appears on when we have sort of up move. And what's happening is that the professionals, what they do, they sell at the top because they want to make maximum. So they want to bring the prices back down so they can increase their profit. And, you know, it's logical, really is logical. And you do the reverse when you want to, you know, you buy when the prices are low. You want to buy when the prices go up, you get rid of them. So that's how you make profit. And I think that works with everything that you do in your life, really. I mean, in a sense. So it's very logical. And when we got those two principles appearing, and you got a failed test as well, and change of behavior, that's really is going to go down one way. So it's going to go south, and you can see that on the chart. It's a live chart that you have there. So you know, it's a, you know, to me, it's logical, and I you know, I come from a background where everything has to be logical for me. So I really did realize that pretty quick. Really picked that up so quick in a sense. But I think some people do find it difficult to understand initially, I think. But once they start to learn about the VSA and the VSA methodology, I think it becomes easier for them, you know.
Well, in your room, you preach the word repetition, and it's interesting. Last night, I was looking at one of the famous golfers. I won't mention his name, but he said the reason he is so successful is every morning when he goes to practice, he repeats the same drill, repetition, and he has his own way. It's like a trading plan, but it's a golfing plan. And he's one of the best players in the world. And he said, I continually did the same thing over and over again until it became a habit, but a good habit. And when I went to hit a ball out of a bunker, I'd practiced it so many thousands of times that when I was at the Open, I knew exactly what I was doing. I was not nervous because I knew. And trading is very similar. It does involve repeating. You almost program your mind. I talked about NLP earlier, neuro-linguistic programming. When we look at charts, if you become really good at this, you repeat, you see these setups that I'm in now, right? You know you can't lose money. I know I'm in front of an audience of hundreds and hundreds of people. I know people will watch this on YouTube. I know, and I say I know. Remember that word, not I think, I know. It's a different word. I know this is a good trade. I know that the system gave it to me. I know I got the email alert. I know what to do. Once you've got that knowledge, as Tom taught me, once you've got it, it's with you for the rest of your life. I'm 55. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I do know this. I've taught thousands of people, probably tens of thousands, through various events over 22 years. And I get great pleasure from helping others. And it's not the financial side of it that drives me, believe it or not. Traders, you'd think it's all about the money. But actually, I think Aaron would agree with this. It's not. It's, yes, we need to make money. Yes, we want to have a nice lifestyle. But if you can change someone's life and you can show them a chart like this and say, I know it's going to fall. I know it's weak. I know, and I know, and I can teach you this, then you're teaching someone to fish. You're not throwing them a fish. And in Aaron's room, in the trading room, that's exactly what we want to do, which means some people won't stay in the room forever, although a lot of people have been there for months. But it's about sticking to your game plan. Now, I did say that there is rules. And there are rules. There are simple rules and there are more complex rules. It's entirely up to you. By the way, I'm keeping an eye on this at the moment because I've got, there's the alert. That's coming in. Okay. Now, I knew that would come in on the pound Swissy, but they're testing this and I've just come in on my phone. Right. So Smart Center Pro has just come in and it said, look for a failed test. Now, this will be interesting because this is the test. It says strength coming in because they're trying to support the market, but watch. Okay, this, if it breaks this low, it's coming down here. Watch. Because whilst it's a green signal or indicator, you would never buy there because you're in a downtrend. Everything's red, red, red. This is all proprietary to our system. Medium-term trending system from here, where I took the trade, has stayed red since we've been on air. The thermometer, which measures bullish versus bearish volume, from this point here has 80% been red. The market is going down. So how does a piece of software do this? It uses supply and demand analysis, which is what it's doing. I know this is a safe trade. And we're doing it live. But regardless, we do it all the time. I've been doing it for years. I've been in multiple trading competitions. And in the competitions, I haven't had losing trades because I'm very cautious. But I know when I'm in a good trade. And the secret to a good trade is to let it run. So, as we've been producing this video and you're all here live, you can see the logic behind it. Look at this. Everything's red in Smart Center Pro. Everything's red in the thermometer, and everything's red in the short-term trending system. And the trend clusters, which I told you about, acted as resistance at exactly the level. Now, what I'll now do, there's another alert come in. Again, it's the same one, Swissy. But I'm in this trade, so I'm going to move the stop even further down into the cluster area, because that's where we now know where it's the market's refusing to go above it. Here and here, look at the reaction. You can make a living doing this. I do. Yes, I've got other business interests, but this is the bread and butter. And I can tell you, I'm teaching my two sons, my eldest and my youngest. My youngest is 12, my eldest is 23, to do this. Because you don't have to be that intelligent to trade, believe it or not. I mean, Warren Buffett stated that fact. He said, you don't need an IQ of more than 25 to be a successful trader or investor. That's what he stated. He said, but what gets human beings into trouble is listening to too much noise. And what he meant by that was the fake news that Donald Trump has talked about. And in fact, here, we're not using any news at all. We're using the chart. We can see the weakness in the background. Okay, we can't argue with it. There's the upthrust. And there is quite clearly weakness on the bar. It's tested, it fails, which is what Aaron said. So in order to get the trading plans, which any of you can get, it's very easy to do so. There's two options. Now, if you come up here and 7418, let's have a quick look and see if that's increased. This is the video I did. It's a video interview that I did with Ninja Trader. Yeah, so we're getting, I mean, it's getting 100 views an hour. And it's a video which will explain why things happen the way they do, which you'll see. But if we go to our website, so you type in tradeguider.com, it's going to give you two options. If you can spell it right, but I can. There we go. Okay, so you go to tradeguider.com, and then it says what option applies to you. Now, this is a great one, because I was a bit concerned that we're giving people two choices here. But what we're giving you is two different budget options. If you go to a car showroom, and on the right-hand side is a Rolls-Royce showroom, and on the left-hand side is a showroom for, say, a Mini or a Skoda, whatever, both cars will get you from A to B. No doubt about it. But they have different functionality and different luxurious options or basic options. So we, as a company, have been selling software at $5,000, $10,000 for years and done very well. But there's a lot of people that we've encountered who say, I just cannot afford this. I can't do $10,000 because they're students or they haven't got savings or whatever. So we bought Trade to Win, the website, from Tom years ago. It's a very powerful website, Trade to Win. That's what you want to do. So Trade to Win is where Aram is, and he basically manages this area. And it's a simple strategy. You can document here by entering your email address and putting in your first name. There's no obligation. You can get the document. I'm not going to show it here. It's completely free. If you want to talk to Aram, you can actually email him and he'll tell you what he does. But this is for TradingView. It only works with this platform. And TradingView has 50 million users, more than that. And we are on target by the end of the year to have upwards of 2,000 actively trading customers on this product because it's inexpensive. And you can get the trading document from there. Now, you might say, well, actually, I've got more than £5,000. I can afford to be taught and to spend money on teaching myself. So here we have Trade Guider, and this has changed recently, the last 2 weeks. This time we're aiming, and we're already talking to 2 large institutional banks about what we're offering. And I've got meetings next week in London, which I know our investors are very interested in. You'll get a report once I've come back, because several of you who've invested in Trade Guider Gibraltar Limited are in this room. We will be going public probably June of next year, but we may not even get there. We may be bought out. I don't know. But what I do know is the interest from that Ninja Trader video and what's happened to gold and what's happened to the pound has, well, I don't like to use the word sparked the imagination of the big money, but it's certainly got people listening, as I can see in this room. And also I can see from nearly 8,000 views on the Ninja Trader ecosystem website. Now, I can tell you that based on past history, that will double in the next week. So the Trade Guider product is more geared to high net worths or people who want to be a full-time trader. And it's a more consultative approach. And again, we've got a document that you can just type in your email and your first name, and we'll email you the document. It explains the vision of the company, what we're doing, and how we can do a consultative approach. Now, it might not be with me, but it could be. But it could be with Aaron. It could be with Mary, who works with us. It could be with one of our traders who work for Wyckoff Williams Investment Fund out of Gibraltar. But whatever, we can help you, because we know that we're right. We know why a market's going to do what it's doing now. We know, without doubt, that the Wyckoff method is, as Tom said 35 years ago, proven. This is not a fly-by-night black box system. And if you want a black box and you want, oh, it's red, I'm going to sell, green, I'm going to buy, do not contact us, please. We would not help you. We would tell you exactly what I'm going to tell you. You're going to be scammed. What I will tell you is this. If you want to be a trader or a professional trader, a full-time trader, or even someone who just manages their own pension fund, we have the tools, we have the experience, we have the knowledge, and we have the backing of some very big companies, which I won't mention all of them, but you know some of them. Here, Capital Markets Elite Group have decided that we are telling the truth, and so they're going to work with us. But again, it's all about reading a chart. The chart does not lie to you. So, Aaron, a few final words from you. Someone has just emailed if they want to get involved with your room. How do they go about doing that?
Well, it's pretty simple. You just go on the website, as you've shown, tradeguider.com, just choose Trade to Win and register and subscribe. Simple.
That's it. That's what I would have said. And in regards to one-to-one mentorship, Stephen, email Laura, my wife, and I've just got filled perfect trade. So that's a lovely end to the day. Not one losing trade today. Everything worked. You can see the chart. You can see this works. And I just want to say thank you very much to all of you for staying with us. We've had a very big turnout. I know a lot of you on YouTube will be listening to this. I'm just going to take the final questions. Okay, you've emailed Laura. Fine. I'll get back to you on that one. Yeah, Smart Center Pro I use all the time. Yes, we can certainly do a deal for you, Stefan. Just email Laura, and she'll come to me and say you've emailed. I will sort that out. Yeah, bye, Jamie. Good to see you, and thank you. I'm glad. I'm very pleased that you took that. Yeah, good. All right. So from me, I just say on behalf of everyone here at the team at Trade Guider, thank you very much indeed on behalf of Capital Markets Elite Group.com and also the whole team at Trade Guide, thank you very much for your time today. Mohammed, do email Laura again now because she's at her computer, and if she missed it, just so you know, Mohammed, she's getting hundreds of emails. So we are bringing on more staff. We're employing more people because we can't cope with the demand, which is a wonderful thing. We talk about supply, but we also talk about demand. We've got a lot of it. And I don't know what's happened in the last 6 to 8 weeks, but it's taken off. And as I said, next week I've got meetings with some large institutions that are very interested in what we do. So we'll see what happens. But on behalf of all of us, I wish you good trading, constant profits, and may your God bless you, and namaste. Thank you very much indeed. What a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.